Welcome to the Dare to Grow Show. I'm Sarah Morgan, and my mission is to help you take daily action in your business, show up consistently and confidently for your audience, and earn more with digital products and programs. I know you have a rad vision for your life and business, but do you dare to grow? Let's jump into this episode and talk about how to make it happen. All right, welcome to episode 87. This week, we are talking about confidence. Specifically showing up as the face of your business, because that is the name of the game now. People want to know who they're paying and if their values align with you and your business, not just if your product or service will work, which is kind of awesome because it means you can be in a quote unquote oversaturated niche and still stand out and grow a business. So today you'll be hearing from Natasha Samuel, an expert in growing your business with Instagram. She knows all about showing up with confidence. And Becky Mollenkamp, who is a mindset coach focused on self-compassion. I feel like we got a good group today, and they've got some great stories about finding their confidence, which I think you will love. But first, of course, I will share a little bit of my own experience getting confident as the face of my business. So the first thing I want to say about this is that confidence is not like a light switch that suddenly you flip on, magically it works, like you find the right strategy or the right technique. I know some of you have been following me for years, and you might not realize that even though I was showing up often, my face was on everything, I was doing video, I was still very uncomfortable behind the scenes, and it took me years to be able to show up how I do now. In fact, the first time I created a course and recorded videos, I ran it for one session with those videos, and then I completely redid all 12 videos because I didn't like the way I looked or sounded. And looking back now, that was such a waste of time. Now I will literally post a story from my couch in the morning, like right after getting out of bed. I'm in my PJs, no makeup, crazy hair, no filters, just because I have information my audience needs to know. Now I don't even think about how I look, because I've realized how little it actually matters. But the key for me to get confident and start showing up was just posting it anyway. Being like, totally said that in a weird way, or I talk too fast, or I have a huge zit on my chin, or why does my hair look like that today? I just post it anyway. Once you get in the habit of showing up and realize what actually happens is that your audience is excited to see you and hear from you, and then you get to know your audience, and it's like you're just showing up to talk to your friends on the internet. So there's like no light switch moment where suddenly you're going to feel confident. It's just getting comfy by posting videos and photos over and over and over again. And every time you get like one little drop of confidence until suddenly you find yourself on the couch in your PJs making videos. And there was also one extra thing that threw me off a little, which was that I felt narcissistic or egotistical, something like that, every time I made a video or posted selfies. Like, who do I think I am to show up like this and tell people to listen to me? And that, I think, is something that is ingrained in us from childhood, thanks to the patriarchy, just continuously telling women and girls to be quieter, be nice, don't brag, don't show off, don't show up in this way or dress like that because people will get the wrong idea. We're told to be careful with how we look and how we present ourselves constantly. And that does not help when you go to show up on video. So one of the things that helped me realize that was to journal about the feelings or thoughts that showed up or the concerns I had about what people would think, and kind of like journaling my way through all of that bullshit and untying all of the stuff that was holding me back. So next time you do go to create a video or even just think about taking selfies, pay attention to what your body does, what comes into your mind, what negative thoughts come out, and then grab yourself a journal and start writing, because you might be able to untie that and realize that that was some hot bullshit holding you back, and then you can just be done with it. So next up, let's hear it from Natasha. She has some great advice for you all.
Hello, I'm Natasha of Shine with Natasha and the host of the Shine Online podcast. I'm an Instagram strategist that helps business owners build their brands on the gram with a video strategy that's fulfilling and fun without the overwhelm. And as we all know, confidence is such a huge part of Instagram video, and even your favorite content creators and educators, myself included, have struggled with showing up and truly humanizing our brands on the platform. I mean, it's very awkward to talk to your phone, right? But from not even wanting to start my Instagram account in the first place to now showing up on all the Instagram video types to see major results for my business, like scaling my revenue and truly being seen as an authority in my industry, which has led to dream opportunities for my business. And I really noticed that to see those types of results, I've had to make a few shifts that have really helped me boost my own confidence. And I want to share them with you. The first thing is the biggest mindset shift that it's not about me. And I was actually being selfish by entertaining a lot of the thoughts that we have of what will people say? What will people think? I don't look great today. I'm not qualified to speak on this. If you noticed, all of those things start with I, and they are completely taking away from the people and the community that you are connecting with and reaching on Instagram. When I started to shift those thoughts from not really worrying about myself to really thinking about how could I connect with my audience? How can I serve people better? How can I be a great example for other people? It kind of makes all those insecurities truly go away. I also practiced. This is the biggest thing. I always get asked, what is your biggest tip for getting better at video? And honestly, you get more comfortable and confident when you practice talking on video, filming video clips, hosting your first Instagram live, which I know can sound all very scary and intimidating. You have to practice to get better at it. And it's really crazy. I have scrolled back to the archives and I found my first Instagram reel, my first Instagram story even, which was the first time I really showed my face on Instagram. And I was a mess. My hand was shaking. My phone was shaking. I mean, it was so apparent that I wasn't comfortable yet. I didn't know how to articulate my thoughts and teach on video. And over the years, I've really gotten uncomfortable and challenged myself and failed and messed up and showed up imperfectly. It's so easy to see the shift that's really happened. And even with Instagram Reels, which is a new type of video content, I was already creating videos by then. It was so interesting when I remixed my first reel to then a whole year later. And without even saying anything, my community even noticed. They're like, wow, you speak so much confidently. And it wasn't that there really was a big new secret thing I was doing. Like, yes, you learn the skill set of filming, recording, talking to camera, articulating your thoughts, scripting your videos, outlining your content. Yes, there's a skill set side of things, but just by doing it, things just become easier. And that's the most actionable tip I can give you today is just start, whether it means trying something new, just trying altogether. Practicing over the 4 years I've been on Instagram has been the number one way that has made me more confident. Another thing that has really helped me, this really big shift for boosting my own confidence, is leaning into my own strengths and what really makes me different. And I think on all social media, especially on Instagram, it's so easy to consume and think that you have to be creating and showing up a certain way. And I think this kind of comes back to all those mindset struggles you might have around video is that, well, I'm not outgoing like so-and-so, I'm too shy for video, or I'm not good at doing lives. I don't know how to do this. I'm only really good at that. And I think that's really where you want to lean into your own strengths and understand the difference between something being uncomfortable because you haven't practiced, you've never done it, or something you just really are better at. Like maybe you're really great at having conversations. Maybe lives are going to be the perfect fit for you. Maybe you really like documenting your day and a story is going to be better. Maybe you like to connect one-on-one people. So adding in polls and like really creating content that's going to provoke people to reply and react with your content is going to feel a lot more authentic. Or maybe you're just like into the short, sweet, quick tips, quick wins, storytelling on reels. Maybe you really like humor. Reels would be your jam. So I think it really is helpful to lean into what are your strengths and how can that come to life on Instagram. And I think this also comes down to really finding what makes you different. I remember when I first started showing up on Instagram, I really thought I had to be perfectly polished. I had to always be wearing makeup or a button-down shirt, when that's really not my brand. That's not how I am. And a lot of people know on stories, I'm probably just in my comfy clothes, sharing my matcha, very relaxed, because that's how my brand is. And that's how I want to be perceived. And everyone's different. So I think it's important to understand what are those connection points? How can you be more authentically yourself? Because yes, that's going to mean you're not for everyone, but it's really what's going to humanize your brand and show how you're different from the other person that's doing exactly what you're doing. Because with every industry, there are many, many options for your ideal clients to purchase from. And what makes you different is really you and how you show up in that way. And the last shift that really helped me boost my confidence when showing up for my brand on Instagram is really the understanding that by not showing up, I was truly missing out on opportunities to sell, to connect, to collaborate, to serve my audience. When you really realize that you're almost halting your own growth, it made me realize it was just such a non-negotiable, and that moving past those uncomfortable feelings were absolutely worth it. So I really hope that those shifts were insightful for you and really inspired you to shine even brighter on video. And I hope to connect with you over on my very yellow side of Instagram at Shine with Natasha.
Thank you, Natasha. That was amazing. I love that you ended by talking about how not showing up is holding people back. I see this happen so often, and often people don't realize because they're still really busy trying to find a way to market themselves that doesn't feel uncomfortable in the way video and photos do. And that could totally be the thing that kickstarts their business. So I'm so glad you mentioned it. Okay, next up, Becky, and she has got such a great story to share.
Hi, I'm Becky Mollenkamp. I'm a coach. I work with women, femmes and thems, who are ready to unpack patriarchal conditioning so they can stop living the life they think they're supposed to and start defining success on their own terms. And I'm super excited to talk about how I got confident showing up as the face of my brand. And I think the best way for me to do that is to tell you a little story about a time I cried during a live video. I was a new mom, so it was about 4.5 years ago. I had an infant. I was breastfeeding. I wasn't sleeping a lot. I was trying to run a brand, trying to run my company, and all the things involved in that. Also wanting to be a decent wife, and was feeling the weight of all of it. And realizing I didn't have a lot of friends because I didn't have time for it, and that I just felt tired. So tired and so isolated and alone in that, and thinking that there was something wrong with me, that I was failing as a mom and business owner. And why couldn't I get it right? And so one morning, against my better judgment, I logged into my Facebook group that had a few thousand members at the time and went live and just told them everything. How I felt like I was failing at being a mom, being a business owner, being a coach, how I just was getting it all wrong. And didn't have any answers for them. Didn't have a lesson. It wasn't a cute, tidy little presentation. It was just me being really vulnerable. As soon as I stopped the live, I thought, oh, what did I just do? That was probably a really bad idea. How are people going to trust me to be a coach if they don't trust me to have my life together, if they're telling them that I'm feeling awful? But instead, I got the most incredible feedback from the people in my community. One person after another, one mom after another saying, thank you. Thank you for being so real. Thank you for putting words to things that I've been experiencing. Thank you for showing up and being yourself. Too many other people that we know that are coaches or that are out there, trying to help other women and moms are making it seem like they have it all figured out, and it just makes us feel worse. And so to hear from somebody that they are also struggling really feels good. And that one moment, that one live video, that one time crying on camera taught me so much about what it means to be the face of your brand. And that means not just telling them you have all the answers to their problems, but that you actually understand their problems because you have and maybe even continue to experience their problems. It's about making people feel seen, heard, loved. And that's what gave me the confidence to keep doing it. I needed one experience, which for me was born out of absolute frustration and exhaustion, to realize that people just want their leaders, the faces of the brands that they trust, to be honest with them, to reflect them back to them, to make them feel seen. So for me, the confidence came in doing it, showing up, and getting incredible feedback from the people that were in my world saying, this is what I needed. So my little pithy advice is go be yourself. And doing that and hearing from people that it helped them will build your confidence.
Yes, go be yourself. I love that advice. And it feels really relieving to me to hear you say that, to say that out loud. Because being myself and not overthinking everything takes so much less effort and stress than trying to get everything perfect. Oh, I love that you said that. I spent way too much time in the last 9 years of my business trying to get the perfect lighting. Who cares? The other thing I want to mention is that this is just 3 of us, but my bet is if I asked 100 women the same question, you would get very similar answers. That it was really hard at the beginning for everyone, even if they're showing up with very professionally edited videos or professional photos and you don't see a lot of that casual behind the scenes stuff. I guarantee they were uncomfortable at the beginning and they maybe even have moments of being uncomfortable now because I totally do too. So just start. Be yourself because your audience is full of humans just like you. Keep posting, and at some point, probably sooner than you expect, you will feel more confident. It will happen. So make sure you head over to Instagram and follow Natasha at Shine with Natasha and Becky at Becky Mollenkamp. It's Mollenkamp. And then head over to my profile. You can find me at XO Sarah Morgan and let's discuss. Find the episode 87 post, leave a comment, and let me know how you are feeling about showing up as the face of your business. Hopefully you're going to tell me that this episode helped and you're ready to go take some selfies. All right. Thank you as always for hanging out with me, hanging out with us, and I'll talk to you again next week. Oh, and one more thing before I go. If you have any questions on anything we talked about today, or if you are looking for help to market and grow your business, head over to daretogrow.co. That's daretogrow.co and join us in Dare to Grow. It's my membership for solopreneurs looking to simplify their marketing, show up with confidence, and finally grow their online business. You will get instant access to all of the trainings, the twice monthly coaching calls, our monthly planning and goal setting call, and our super supportive Facebook community filled with solopreneurs just like you. Seriously, it's so good. If that sounds like something you need, link is in the show notes or visit daretogrow.co and I will see you inside.